I do quickly want to ask you about something else, given that you have been vocal in this area. So allow me, this was Grace Tame at the protest yesterday. We've heard Tanya Plibersek comment on it, but I just want to show you this clip quickly. Okay, so we have seen a lot of conflicting clips on social media. We've seen what some might view as a heavy-handed police response to Muslim prayers. We're about to show you the arrest of a young man that has gone viral on social media. But there's also this from Grace Tame, globalise the intifada. What do you think about that?
Look, I think this situation was entirely foreseeable, and I do lay the blame squarely at the Prime Minister and in part to Chris Minns. We know emotions are high as a result of the terror attack to Bondi, the Hamas attack of October 7, but also the huge amount of civilians and innocent lives that have been killed in Gaza and Palestinian lives. So we know tensions are high, social cohesion.
Yeah, but given, you know, I live in Bondi, I've seen the Jewish community and their pain for Isaac Hertz, or whatever you feel about him. The victims of the Bondi terror attack wanted him here and they wanted his comfort. To hear then a former Australian of the Year lead chants of globalise the intifada, that's what the Jewish community said was in part the reason that we're allowed to see these Islamic extremists do what they did in Bondi. Do you accept that?
I don't. I feel strongly, if I may finish, that this was entirely foreseeable that we would have unrest. It is essential that protesters respect the law. But in instances where you have police excessive force use, that also must be investigated. But this situation was entirely foreseeable. No, let me finish. Let me finish. Okay. Let me finish. Again, it is entirely foreseeable that Jewish Australians feel strongly and feel incredibly vulnerable in this situation. But Palestinian Australians are also feeling incredibly angry and hurt at the continued killing of innocent civilian lives. We cannot, I'm sorry, you cannot disconnect the actions of the State of Israel. Right. And President Herzog is the president of that state.
Grace Tame isn't a Palestinian Australian. She's an Australian of the Year, Zali.
And Laura, we have freedom of speech in Australia. She is entitled to express her view. We also have hate speech laws now. I do not agree. We do, and those hate speech laws go to if you are urging or encouraging harm to be brought upon Australians, that is what the hate speech is. I don't agree with what is being chanted, but I also respect that this is a very complex issue. And this was, I think the Prime Minister bears the blame of this situation. This was entirely foreseeable, and that's why I wrote to him asking him to reconsider and to really clarify. It was entirely foreseeable, considering the last 2 years and the issues and the damage this has been to social cohesion, that events like last night were going to happen.
But globalise the intifada, it's damaging and dangerous, is it not?
I don't dispute that it is damaging, but what I am really disappointed that at no point am I hearing anything in relation to what is to happen to the Palestinian people. We are seeing today the announcement that the Israeli government has further passed laws to legalise taking more land in the occupied territories. But you can't disconnect
Okay, but we live in Australia.
You
are a Sydney MP and we just saw 15 people murdered at Bondi Beach. Why isn't that the priority?
Then why are we having the leader of a foreign state here causing social disruption and impacting our social cohesion? If we are Australians first and foremost, inviting the head of another state that has highly foreseeable consequences on our social cohesion is something the Prime Minister should have taken much greater care in considering.
Okay, we are well out of time, Zali. I appreciate your time on two very different topics this morning.